Meet Tomi Auto.
I'm in love.
A car fanatic.
Jesus!
Avid car wow racer. TikTok celebrity.
Tomi, yeah? Tomi!
And my Vuelto rival.
His car seems slower than my one.
His car collection amounts to a whopping £2.5 million. I'm going to find out the truth how he can afford his luxury car collection. Do you mind if I ask how you buy your cars?
Isn't actually my car, it's my wife's car.
Learn about the downsides of living the high life.
Someone crashed into my SCJ.
No, they didn't. And put an end to the rumours that his Grammy award-winning wife funds his crazy car buying addiction.
I didn't know about
Yeah.
Like, I've got every single Lamborghini.
I didn't know that. Right, so talk to me about this car. Because obviously we've got Ferraris, we've got Lambos, we've got Porsches, and we've got a BMW.
Yes, so this is actually the first BMW I've ever had. I was a BMW hater before, but then I spoke to the guys at BMW Park Lane, and they were like, no, trust me, we've got great cars. I took my wife in it to Soho House, and or Soho Farmhouse, sorry, and she loved it, and it was comfortable, and I loved it, and then she was like, oh, we should get one as a family car. And then I was thinking, it actually makes sense, because it's not every day you want to be driving like a standout, flashy car, right?
What is this?
So it's a 7 Series, but the electric version, so i7. Press it, then move away.
Okay, so just...
Oh no, it makes sure that no one's there. Yeah, and it opens.
Okay, so they're like going on like a Maybach Flex, S-Class,
Do you know what I'm saying?
Flex.
So I think they've taken a lot of what they learned building the Rolls Royces and thought, you know what, let's just stick that to 7 Series. But I think it's a great car, man. What are you thinking? Are you tempted?
No. It's too much of a boat.
You know what's weird? It doesn't drive like a boat. It still has quite a lot of that BMW DNA. You'll learn to love it.
The BMW fanboys, because you know...
Duh!
Okay then, so...
So when you cuss BMWs, that's what happens. I don't even know what happened there. Why did it shut by itself?
I don't know.
But what were you saying, the BMW fanboys?
Yeah, the BMW fanboys.
Yeah.
Does it not close by itself? See, new technology is big. The BMW fanboys, will they love this?
Probably not. What they'll like about it is the fact that it's a BMW, that's about it. But it's not an M car, do you know what I mean?
I like the front. The front looks
nice.
nice.
The front's
and
the part that
big
people
and...
don't like. But I put this splitter on it to make it a bit more aggressive, yeah.
So you don't leave nothing standard like me?
No, I do leave cars standard. My other cars are standard, a lot of them are.
Okay, so let's go across, let's have a look.
This is standard.
This car's worth how much?
About 210,000.
Brand new car,
Yeah.
210.
They used to be like 180, and before that they were like 160. So the price keeps going up, but that's inflation, I guess.
This is a G63?
Yeah, G63.
It's not the electric-y,
No.
where it goes like...
No, okay, so I was going to get one of those, but I'm a bit apprehensive. I'm not sure how the market's going to do on them. I like to buy cars that like hold value or go up in value. But now we're going to sell it though.
Are you?
Yeah, my wife can't get it anymore because she's heavily pregnant.
You know, once the baby comes, you know she goes back to normal.
I know, but hear what I'm saying. I have a £10,000 discount with Mercedes, so it makes more sense for me to sell this and just order another one. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, and this is matte white.
Yeah, matte white.
Do you like the matte white?
Yeah, I liked it better on the configurator, but in person, I think what we want to go, so you know like your Range Rover colour?
Yeah.
I think the next one we'll go for a colour similar to that.
I'll be honest with you, I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like the wheels.
Okay.
I don't like it at all.
You know what, should I be completely honest with you?
You don't like it
When
either.
we spec'd it, it looked way better. But by the time this video comes out, it's sold. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either. But that's why I ordered another one. It's a cool car though. It drives well compared to the old G-Wagon, but not to other normal cars.
Don't know. Lamborghini Performante. See, now we're talking. This is my time now.
Yeah.
First of all, rally driving?
So the story goes, my wife had to get somewhere.
My wife?
Yeah, no, it was because I came home and I was like, what's happened to the car? But she had to go on like a single track road. And do you know what's weird? When I got that single track road, I'm very apprehensive, but she called me and she was like, wow, this is sick. And all I had was pop, 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 pop. So she was going for it. But yeah, this is what she did. You know, I underestimated her driving skills and then I took her to a track. You know Millbrook?
Yeah.
So we did Millbrook and she would, like, I was shocked with how good she was.
Is this original colour?
Yeah, so this
What
colour
is
is Viola Mithras. So it's like
Viola
a blue and a
Mithras.
purple. So it's a mix between Viola Pasiphae and the blue.
Great colour. Did you spec this?
Yes, I spec.
So you spec this, so you went with what, a black and yellow interior?
Yeah, I wanted it to be like LA Lakers spec.
Okay, yes, very LA
So I
Lakers
went
spec,
purple,
I get that.
yellow calipers. It's pretty much got everything. I wrapped the roof black.
Roof? Oh, you wrapped the roof
Yeah,
black?
wrapped the roof black.
Okay.
Because it was purple. I thought I like to break up the purple, you know.
Can I say something?
Go ahead. I didn't wrap it.
Why is the purple?
Showing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Just color, pop of color? No? I don't think it looks bad though.
We call it a feature.
Oh yeah, I never noticed that before.
Okay.
Because it's not on the back. Oh, it is on the back.
I'm definitely not calling out shots or anything. I just don't understand why.
Well, the people that wrapped it don't wrap cars anymore. So they've changed it.
Oh, wow.
It's my friend, actually.
They've changed their business model. What did this come in at?
280, I think.
Really? As much as people say to me, oh, the S, it drives so much better, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Didn't like the S at all.
Really?
Compared to the Perf.
Really?
The Perf drives so much better.
I haven't driven the S.
Yeah, it feels a little bit
Lamborghini
soft.
don't let me test drive cars.
Don't they?
No.
Why?
I think, you know, when you do social media, I think not my dealer, but Lamborghini press, I think they just...
They don't give me cars.
Oh, they give people cars.
I'm like a Lamborghini fan, but I've got Lambo in my name.
I think Italians, the way they do press is a bit different though.
And we fly the flag for Lambo.
Yeah. I'm
Fanboys.
a Lambo.
And
I've got every single Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Every single Lamborghini is on sale. I'm like, yeah, I need a Huracan or is this. But I've never taken a Lamborghini for a test drive before. I just always, and I buy them, but I've never got to test drive one.
And you drive them for the first time.
The #1 feature that I love about this car, front seat ISOFIX. So I could put my kid in the front with me. My son loves it, so whenever he sees it, the first thing he says is, "Hi, purple car." So I'm like,
oh, so cute. How old is he?
So he's 1.5.
Oh wow, that's so cute. This is lovely. And it's exactly how you want it. So
exactly.
Unlike the Revuelto. Let's go to the Revuelto.
Wow!
So here is your Lamborghini Revuelto.
Yeah.
That is faster than my car on CarWow.
9.6 seconds. The Lamborghini took 9.9 seconds.
Whereas the Lamborghini took 10.2 seconds.
Even though we were supposed to race them together. So we're supposed to race mine, Tommy's and Mark's all together. Yeah. It never happened, and now he's put the Gentani exhaust on it, which sounds off the chart. It don't matter now because now
it's not even anymore.
They're not even anymore. We both have this car.
Yeah.
We both love this car.
Yes.
It was a real hit and miss out there in the market where people weren't sure about these cars. Oh, it's hybrid. It's not got the same drama as an Aventured. Obviously, you still have your SVJ, don't you? Your SVJ is not here today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone crashed into my SVJ.
No, they didn't.
reversed into it, but there's no visible damage. But underneath the car, the carbon diffuser has popped out. And I heard the crack. So it was an old guy who was reversing his Macan, and he just, I don't know, it happened in such slow motion. He just reversed into it, and everyone was just because it was services. Everyone's like, "Do you not see the car? Do you not see the car?" And then I think he was just dazed.
Okay, so if you didn't know, Tommy's got an SVJ. Let me just quickly show you that here.
The SVJ, we got the SVJ in 2021 or 2022, and we paid 330,000 for that car, and it's probably worth 440 now. The SVJ is in Verde Mantis. I didn't spec it. I bought it used, but it was on delivery miles because the previous owner just never drove the car. It was just sat in the dealer since he bought it. So yeah, Verde Mantis, and it's got red calipers, slightly red interior, and it's a darling. It has a Gentani exhaust on it as well, so it sounds exceptional.
Right, okay, so let's go back to the Revuelto. So it is very different to the SVJ.
Yeah.
We both love this car. We both raced our cars on CarWow and both been beaten by the SF90, which was his SF90 that he also owns, and that's also not here as well.
Yeah,
that's at Ferrari.
Yeah.
So let me just show you that on the screen as well, because as much as we've got all these cars here, they're not all here. So this car, you bought the car, you got a very early car before me, but you took obviously a pre-ordered spec car.
Yeah. So the deal was basically I could wait for one later down the line, or they called me and they said, we have a green one and we know your SVJ's green. Like it was like the same spec. The green is slightly different, but green on red. So they were like, oh, would you like that instead? And I was like, you know what, why not? I thought, why not? So I said, yeah. And I'm happy I got it, because if I got a pre-spec'd one, if I spec'd it myself, I wouldn't have wrapped it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then I wouldn't have wrapped it in. I like this color a lot because purple's like my favorite color. So I didn't want the paint to get damaged. So I was like, I just wrapped it straight away. Because the first thing I did in the car was the CarWow drag race. So that was like the 3 or 4 days after it got finished being wrapped.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are going to say, why did Tommy not bring his cars to you to get your cars wrapped?
You know what? I met you. This is actually going to be a long story, so buckle in. So I met you in 2023, right? We met for the first time at HRO. Before I got into cars and stuff, I used to watch your stuff in like 2013, 2015, 2014.
My guy.
But I don't think you understand. This is surreal for me, yeah, because I used to watch your stuff, and now I just text him and we talk on the phone and stuff. It's like, when I really put it into perspective, my progress from then till now, because I was in music then, but changing segment and coming into this world, and then the people I looked up to, like you, Matt Watson, Shmee, like everyone, like I just talk to them like it's nothing. So it's surreal because it's like, look, like you meet your heroes, don't you? Like, and then it's just like they're at your house talking about your cars. It's actually mad. So because I met you in 2023, I met the guys that wrecked my car. I met them earlier.
Yeah.
And there is like a family business, and they're really, really trying, and they do good work.
Rap Sanctuary.
Yeah, Rap
Sanctuary. I'll shout them out. It's no problem.
They're really, really trying. They do great work, and I feel more people need to be more aware of like a lot of family businesses. So I was supporting them.
What's really cool is for someone that's, let's be straight, come from nowhere. Yeah, all of it, you've come into this scene and you've been liked very, very quickly. And the time I realised Tomi is doing bits and he's famous out there and he's got a cool following was on the Yiannimize Grand Tour. So I was in Madrid and everyone's like, where's Matt, where's Matt? I always get, where's Matt? Where's Tomi? Where's Tomi? And I'm like, Tomi, we love Tomi. And I FaceTime Tomi. Do you remember?
Yeah, I was sitting down on the sofa and I was like, oh, Yanni's calling me. I was thinking, oh, is something wrong with your car that you wanted me to check or see? So I was like, oh, is everything okay? And you were like, oh, I'm here with your fans. And I thought you were winding me up. I was expecting you to do a madness. And then you were like, oh, and then everyone was like, Tomi. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
FaceTime, they're all behind like, Tomi. Right, so you lot wanted, who did you want to see?
Yeah.
Who was it? Tomi, yeah? And that's when I realised, you know what? Your following is just going boom, 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 really, really quickly.
To me, that's so surreal because I didn't expect it to happen. I just like talking about cars because from when I was younger, cars have always been like my thing. So being able to be like, oh, talk about this car and talk about this car. I think some people get it confused with arrogance or like you're bragging.
Yeah.
But I'm genuinely not.
You love cars.
I just love cars. Like all I talk about, like my wife, because I talk about cars so much, ask my wife about a car, she'll talk to you about it. Like hopefully I think the reason that I've been able to progress at the speed that I've progressed is that I kind of remind people of themselves. Like, you know when you really love something?
Yeah.
And then you can see that enthusiasm. So yeah, I try and spread that.
We're gonna have to shout out Camille, which is your wife. And the reason being is she's the one that pushed you to do cars. Because she said you enjoy cars, talk about cars. And that is why, so it's because of her.
Yeah, so basically the story goes like, we were together for a few years and then I decided one day that I was like, oh, I want to leave the music industry. And she was like, why? And I just had a really bad experience in the music industry. And I kept having like bad experiences over and over again with like, just like mistreatment.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to do music anymore. I need to refocus. I was like depressed and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And she was like, oh, you talk about cars, just talk about cars online and see how it goes. I was like, do you reckon that will work? So I started doing it at first, but I was really apprehensive. I didn't show license plates. I didn't really want to, I just talked about like, oh, the suspension system and this and that. And then she was like, no, just be yourself. And then I just started doing it and then it just went crazy. So yeah, I always say without her, I wouldn't have been able to do what I do.
You've got a great following. People really, really like you. So
I hope people like me.
Nah, they do. He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. So we have your orange Storato.
Yeah.
This car's a real cool car.
Yeah,
You've got one,
cool.
Mark McCann's got one.
Yeah.
I've been in them before. It's having a Lambo, but you can just do whatever you want with it.
Funnily enough, isn't actually my car, it's my wife's car.
Okay.
Yeah, so she wanted a supercar, one that she doesn't want to worry about. Originally, she was looking at Ferrari.
Yeah.
Then they announced that this was coming out. She was like, oh, that's really cool. So then we got one, and she drove it twice. The reality of the world we live in, especially her world, she takes cab everywhere when she's going to work.
Yeah.
Or she's with my son, and you're not going to really put him in there. Or she's with me, and I'm driving, and we're just going something else, yeah.
Well, how much was this car brand new?
240, 50, 240.
Did you spec this?
Yes, no, kind of. So I spec'd it, the interior and everything, but then the color I wanted on the exterior, they couldn't do. So we went for orange instead because it was like the launch color. What
stays in the garage? So let's just quickly talk about the cars that are not here. So we said about the SVJ.
Yeah.
We said about the SF90. Yeah. The Porsche GT3 is not here as well. So let me just throw the Porsche GT3 on the screen right now as well.
GT3 RS I got at list. I was really lucky to be able to get it at list. I think it was 245 for the car. It's probably worth about 260 now, so a win's a win, right? It's in white with the gold wheels. I like gold wheels. I've always liked gold wheels, or Aurum as Porsche calls them. It's not too extravagant, but I like it.
Right, so that's 3 cars that are not here. What else is not here?
I have a Lexus IS250 that's not here.
A
my
Lexus
first car.
Lexus IS 250.
Yeah,
Have we got that? Is that online anywhere?
Yeah.
Okay, let's throw that on the screen as well. Okay.
Yeah, that was my first car.
Your first car ever?
I still have that, yeah.
Right.
Got that car, and then I signed a record deal. So I was like, oh, I signed my record deal. I'm gonna go buy a nicer car. So I went and bought a Mercedes, drop top. I was feeling in it, and I was like, oh, you know what? I was like to my sister, here's the keys, just have it, enjoy it, it's yours. She ruined the car, man. Like dents, rust, flat tires, and like everything was messed up on it. So she got a Tesla Model 3, and then the Lexus was just sitting at my parents' house, and I was like, you know what, it's still there, let me just get the keys back. So I took the keys back, and I've sent it somewhere to get like put back to like original state.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why, I just think it'll be cool.
Do you actually have 10 cars?
I try not to think about it. It gives me anxiety. This is gonna sound so stupid. Some people collect shoes, some people collect, you know, Pokemon cards. Some people, I like cars, and do you know what the thing is? I don't collect them, they sit here. I drive every single one of my cars has over 2,000 miles apart from this, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party, I just drive. Something about me, I think it's like a dyslexia thing.
Right.
When it comes to money, I can, if you give me £1 million now, I can spend that. Do you know what I mean? My wife is like, chill. For her to be able to be like, oh, it's your passion, yeah, okay, yeah, like enjoy. But she tells me to stop at times, because there's some cars I wanted to buy. She's like, no, don't do that. She'll be like, is it gonna go up in money? I'm like, no. Why do you want it? Oh, because it looks cool, so.
Well, you talk about cars that you just buy cars randomly, yeah? And I think that perfectly leads us on to the Ferrari Purosangue that you bought like live on TikTok on an auction site. So let's just walk over there, yeah?
Oh my God.
Now, a Ferrari Purosangue, guys, is a car that depreciates quicker than anything on the planet. And people that try and say to me, a Ferrari Purosangue is better than an Urus, no, it's not. An Urus, since 2018, has held its money.
Yeah, it
has been going for over, it's been the most incredible car.
Yep.
The Purosangue came along, they priced it fully wrong. This car is not a £500,000 car. It's not a 450. This is a 300 grand car, in my opinion. The fact that they were 450, 500 is insane.
I hear what
it
you're
also
saying.
looks like a big roller skate.
You know what?
And I'm not hating on Ferrari.
People have different tastes. I think the car's stunning and it drives so well. And do you know what it is? The difference between this and the Urus. I know the Urus is an SUV, right? It's functional, you can use it, but I get in the Urus and it just feels like an SUV. But when I get in this, I'm like, oh my God, this is like completely different to anything I've ever driven. But the Urus is still the better SUV.
And list price on this car was how much?
450 something.
450 something, yeah? And the mileage on this is what?
1,300.
So this car theoretically is maximum 6 months old and it has done no mileage.
Yeah.
You paid how much for this car?
356,000. Sounds ridiculous. Because that's still a lot of money, but that's a massive discount.
That tells you how much these cars have lost. And granted, this car's probably around the 380, 390 mark, even with the loss.
Yeah.
But because it was on a car auction site and you bid for the car, you got it cheap.
Yeah.
And this is a warning to you guys. Be careful if you're going to put your car on a car auction site, because if you put it out there, you have to sell the car, whether you sell it for 250 grand or 500,000.
Yeah.
And this car went for a lot less than what I believe the owner thought.
Yeah. You have to be a good sport. If you're going to put something on an auction site, you have to be a good sport and you have to be prepared. But the thing is, depending on the car, you can, but it's like anything, you can win or you can lose, man. And unfortunately, I won.
And he lost.
But knowing who the owner is, trust me, he doesn't care.
Oh, is it really? Yeah. He's like, no. He still cares.
Pride. It's the pride.
He still cares. Is this £180,000 better than an Urus?
Can I be completely honest with you? I think the Urus is too expensive.
What, the Perth?
Yeah.
What, 260, 270?
I think personally, from the fact that a lot of it is crossed over from the Cayenne, the RS Q8, I think it's priced high for what you get. It looks stunning, it looks great, but I can get a Cayenne Turbo GT, which I had before the Urus.
Yeah.
It does 90% of what the Urus does. The only thing it doesn't do is the look.
And it doesn't have the badge.
And it does have the badge, that's it. Do you know what I mean? So I think that, because almost 300,000 for that car seems absurd. 350 for this one.
But this ain't 350.
It's not 350, but that seems right. So this car, with no options, is 340. But you're gonna have a peasant spec.
Dead spec. See, you say that about the Urus, and I understand what you're saying, but the fact of the matter is, the fact that car from the oldest shape from 2018, has held its money,
Yeah.
has been the best car ever,
Do you know what-
shows that they priced it right and they priced it wrong.
So I think you can get, do you know what, this is even a perf, so this is more expensive than the regular Urus.
Of course.
So
the S you can get one for like 215.
at 215, that is, to me, that's bang on. Like,
Yeah.
it's not taking but then it's pricing it to a point where it's exclusive, right?
Yeah.
I think, they nailed it and they came in early with it. I think Ferrari waited too long to try and, like Ferrari and Aston Martin, they waited too long to release an SUV.
DBX.
Everyone's already got an Urus.
Yeah.
Everyone's already got a G-Wagon. Everyone's already got a Cullinan. At that point, it's like, it doesn't really matter what you release. Like, I've got one of the big three.
I would buy a Pura Sangue or I would buy an SF90 now because they've lost so much money.
Yeah. So
it's the perfect time to buy one now.
Yeah, so if you can go into Ferrari now and be like, okay, I'll just buy a used one. It's perfect.
There's 10 Pura Sangues there now, brand new, box fresh, with below list price, which is insane.
It's insane.
When they were going for overs, imagine paying overs for one of these to get one early, and then.
Do you know what? I really think of the Porsche GT3s. There were people that paid like 400 grand at one point for those cars.
GT3 RS.
No, the regular. Remember the regular
the
GT3?
normal GT3.
Remember
Oh
when
my
they
God.
first came out? They were like 300, and there was like some that were high spec, though, PTS colors, and people were trying to do 400. People paid for that money for those cars. They're like 150 now. Like, to be fair, just don't. I guess the story is just don't buy things over list. Just buy it at list, and then you're less likely to be upset.
Yeah, I got caught out on a 488 Spider. I bought a 488 Spider from a guy called Josh Carter, who does like all the gumball rallies.
one?
Yeah, the blue one.
Yeah.
I went to Hungary to pick it up. Bought it. I paid over what I should have because I wanted a Spider, 488 Spider. There was none available. It was left-hand drive. Bought it. Hated it. Done my lost loads of money on that. That car is. I very rarely lose money on cars.
Yeah, that
very
car's the one
rarely.
that hurts you.
I lost money on that
Yeah.
car. I made money on my SLR. I made money on my SLS.
Yeah.
I made money on my Aventadors. My SV.
You're like me. Like, I make money on cars, right? So when there's one that's not making me money, or I've lost a lot of money, it cuts extra deep.
Yeah, and that was a hurt. That was a bad one.
Yeah, I can
that
imagine.
was a I just need to sell this,
Yeah.
and I sold it to a guy in Monaco.
Yeah.
And he really wanted it, but it was just like sometimes you just got to take a loss.
Exactly.
Right, I've got to ask the question.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got 10 cars.
Yeah.
Favorite car?
Oh, that's quite difficult. My favorite car of the 10, SVJ. It's got the personality, it's got the looks, it's got the engine, it's got the sound.
It's got the drama.
Drama, man. Drama. SVJ. And then probably the Revuelto, you know?
Yeah.
I love the Revuelto. Of the dailies, this is my favorite. I filmed a YouTube video on this and I took it on some twisty roads and I was blown away. This drives just like a normal car. Whereas you're apprehensive in the Urus.
No, you're not.
Well, the way I drive it.
Drive handles amazing.
No. If you're doing twisty roads, you'll be apprehensive in the Urus. Like the way this handles, but it's got a different type of suspension system. So Multimatic developed a suspension system that doesn't need anti-roll bars. It's basically like screws, and it uses electricity. So it's got a 48 volt system. So it keeps the car level all the time, and it stops it from pitching and diving. But it's like a screw that twists, so the car can react quite quickly, but it just stays flat.
So people know you for being Tomi Auto, but you're in the music industry. What can I ask? What were you doing in the music industry?
I was a music producer and DJ. So I produced for a few artists and myself. So I had some songs come out and DJ'd. But I stopped making my own music and went to produce for other people because of a bad experience with someone that was managing me at the time. So I stopped producing music because they stole money from me. So it just put me off. And then I just fell out of love with it, had another bad experience with a different management, and that's when I was like, I just want to call it quits. So then stopped doing that, and then before COVID, or during COVID, my friend called me up one day. He was like, oh, have you heard about a coin called SafeMoon? And I was like, SafeMoon, what's that? And he was like, oh yeah, is this crypto? I didn't know about crypto.
Yeah.
So he was like, yeah, trust me, put money in. He was like, oh, I'm gonna put in a certain amount of money. And I was like, oh, I'll match you. So I put in the same amount of money and it went mad.
I didn't know that.
I was lucky.
A lot of people mad that think, well, we know Camille's levels, and when you write songs, you get paid.
Exactly.
You get paid more than the artist.
Yeah, exactly.
So a lot of people might be thinking, well, okay, you know what, it's Camille, and that's where all the money comes from.
Yeah. So a lot of people, I think that actually started when someone called my wife a gold digger online. And I made a video and I was like, gold digger, and I was showing her awards and stuff. So then when I did that, the narrative then changed. So, oh, so you're the gold digger. And I was like, oh my God, you can't win. So I was like, you know what? Rather than people try and downplay her achievements, because she's ultra successful.
Yeah, she's levels.
She's ultra successful. I'd rather have people just talk bad about me. So it doesn't really bother me, because I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just get my Lambo and drive off into the sunset. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and Camille's mad humble. I was out for dinner and Camille was there. Tomi wasn't there, and she saw me. She's like, yeah, we spoke.
Yeah.
We're sitting down talking this, and we sent him like a video and stuff like that. And she's mad cool. She's mad humble. She's so friendly. She's so sweet. She's just lovely.
Yeah, she's. Do you know what it is? It's so funny. I met her, and the first day I met her, I was like, oh, I'm gonna marry this woman. I literally told my mum, told my sister, like after our date, I was like, I'm gonna marry her. I didn't knew it. It just clicked, and
Wow.
we were married like 2 years later, 2.5 years later.
Do you mind if I ask how you buy your cars?
Finance.
You finance them?
Yeah.
It's a lot like me. You finance
I find
them.
it because to me, I'd personally rather buy something and pay a little bit at the time, pay a little bit extra, than depart with big sums of money. To me, it makes sense. It doesn't make sense to everyone. And it might come down to like the way my brain's set up, but that seems like you're spending less money, even though you're not necessarily.
Yeah.
But the way I justify it is that these cars go up in value, so I sell them before I take the hit from interest.
Yeah,
You know
there you
what I mean? And then also, if you buy it outright, you have to take it out of a business, and that is expensive.
Yeah,
You're
of
buying the
course.
car twice, basically.
Yeah, and if you're buying it from the business, and then you're paying the monthly, which comes off.
Yeah. So you can kind of manage it that way
Yeah.
as well. If you do it all in one hit, that tax bill, wow! When you speak to, like, I know people that are significantly more wealthy than me, like people in my car club that are like very rich. They finance their cars. They're like, well, am I going to pay for it in cash?
Yeah.
Like they might buy 1 or 2 in cash,
Yeah, of course.
but they won't buy everything in cash.
Yeah.
And we've got like cars that we've bought in cash, but it just doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make sense.
Having a 300 grand car sitting there and it's like you've got £500,000 there
Yeah.
where you can put that into something that can make more money.
And then also, if you finance a car, there's extra levels of protection if something goes wrong with
Correct.
the car, if something goes wrong with the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit safer.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tomi, we've just seen your £2.5 million car collection, give or take.
When you say that number, it actually gives me anxiety.
No wonder Camille was like, we need to sell some cars. Talk to me, like, so this is all lovely here.
Yeah.
What's going on here in the middle?
So people say the SF90 doesn't sound nice. So one day I thought, oh, let me give it some revs so people can understand it. I like the sound of it, and it killed my bush.
He killed his bush.
So this is exact.
How close were you?
It was like here. Like it wasn't like next to it. It was literally like here. It just annihilated the bush, and then like, but it didn't happen straight away. Over the course of like 2 months, I just saw it slowly getting more and more brown. And then
Okay.
I said to my wife, "Oh, you know what? I'll fix it," and I just spray painted it green. So yeah.
Okay. Not the best colour green. That looks like
Yeah.
like it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas tree green.
I mean, it's
quite
better than
cool
what
that
it was
it's like
before.
two
holes.
Yeah. Holes.
It's
there.
a memory of the SF90 that's going to stay for a long time because it's dead.
Well, listen, and that is how we're going to end this video. That is Tomi. All his details in the description, on the screen. Follow him on all his platforms. We need to get to 100,000 on YouTube. What are you on now?
70.
So I'm going to put it right here. So where you can click there, just subscribe now. Literally, get him over to 100,000.
I want the plaque.
If we can push him over 100,000, like what, you 30,000 away?
Yeah.
I deserve part of that plaque. You know what? Let's
Yeah,
get,
yeah,
let's
yeah,
get him
we'll cut it
over
in half,
now.
we'll cut it in half.
Let's get him over 100,000 now. He's on TikTok. He's on all the socials. But that is Tomi Auto, car wow, competitive guy, and my friend.
Yeah.
Shout out Tomi.
And you know what? Before we end, it's surreal because this guy's a massive inspiration, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have me on your channel and just to kind of like talk about myself. It's nice. And just to be on your channel, that's mad because I used to look at it and be like, oh, he's so cool. And then I bought a Range Rover and it blew up. So anyway.
Range Rover never blew up on my thing. Right. See you later. I'm going to get a coffee.
That's a true story, by the way.